I'm very pleased to welcome you, especially wives and girlfriends of Nissan members, as part of the Nissan family. Your husbands and friends will be going to Japan to stay there to complete the 3 months training session. For most of you ladies, this will be the first time that you have a long separation. However, I do hope you would understand the importance of this project and to give support to your husbands and friends. If there are any problems that you may encounter, please do tell us. We as Nissan family would like very much to help you so that together we can strive to make Nissan successful as a big family. Thank you very much.
Metro News at 9 o'clock with Brian Milligan. The Northeast has won the race to get the Nissan car factory. It's been announced from Tokyo within the last few minutes that the Japanese company will be setting up in Sunderland. The factory in its first phase will provide 500 jobs.
First post, the job team leader. Requirement total flexibility. Salary £7,500. 1,100 applicants for 25 jobs.
The way the job adverts read, working for Nissan will be different, and to the effect that not many people will reach our standards. I'm just an ordinary working lad. I don't think that I possess anything which is exceptional. Obviously, I've satisfied some of the requirements that Nissan was setting out.
I've never ever been on an aeroplane before, and you have to go all the way to Japan. 19 hours.
No, it's a long way. There's nothing to do about it.
I wish I was coming.
I can always smuggle you in my suitcase. I'm going myself.
How can I come?
No.
What do you do if you don't like what they've given you to eat?
You eat a bit and throw up when you get outside.
Seriously, is there somewhere for you to go that's at English?
Oh, it's American there-based family.
I think Nissan will be quite a hard company to work for because we will be making demands on employees and on our supervisors. I don't really see that as being indoctrinating anybody. There's nothing sinister at all. Rather, I see it as the sensible, rational way of trying to achieve mutual success.
Can you put a large metal defect into that area with the hammer and then straighten it? Okay, it doesn't matter about breaking the paint. Yeah, that's okay. Can you straighten it?
The team leaders will have a responsibility for learning every job in a supervisor's group and will then be responsible for training the rest of the individuals within that group. They have to go out to Japan really to learn the specific techniques of producing a car.
The potential recruits may have no car building experience, but their instructors and future bosses have been headhunted from Dagenham and Cowley. The Nissan front line knows exactly the kind of person they're after. Young, keen, and on the right side of 30.
Before I started, I was on the door for 4 months. I come off the door onto Nissan. Previous to that, I was working with a heavy plant firm. I was there for a year, got made redundant there. I served my time as a fabricator welder, you know. So I've been in the welding business practically since I've left school.
They'll do. And what you'll eat for oranges over there then?
Orange.
Come on, sweetheart.
I don't think the lads really understand how far Japan is away, you know, and how long 13 weeks really is when you get stuck into it, but I suppose they will do.
I don't think they understand where he's going to. When he goes to work, he's going to Japan. Have you been to Japan, Dad? And Jim always has to say no. Nissan, not Japan.
It's another thing, they haven't got proper looms.
I don't know.
Sit and squat our holes in the ground or something.
Oh, you kidding. You are kidding.
The hardest thing when Jim's away will be sort of at the end of the night, switching the television, switching the lights off, and actually being just dead silent, no one there. The kids will be asleep and they'll be... It's just sort of a nothing.
It's your buck bunny, lad.
That's where we are. Right? You see that?
There.
We're both there. Right. Your dad's flying from London. He's going right down to here. Anchorage. See that word there, Anchorage?
Yeah.
There. That's it there. My finger is. Anchorage there.
Aye.
We're getting fuel on there. See when your dad gets in petrol. And we're going right around, just like a big football, across here, down here to Tokyo. And we're getting a train from Tokyo to Yokohama. And that's where your dad's stopping, Yokohama.
Is that the end of the world?
No.
Well, I've been employed in a few garages. Virtually, I was a jack of all trades. Anything went wrong, see Dave. The winters are bad, it's really cold in garages. Plus, I'm not getting any younger. And I want some more to life. I want more challenge, which I wasn't getting in the garage. So I promptly went for the job at Nissan.
All right? Understand that?
No.
You don't? Right. Passes the orange in the pen. Right. That's England, right?
I very badly needed him getting that job because we've lived off rent rebates and family income supplement and we just haven't had a penny at all. He works sometimes 7 days a week and he cannot even afford to go out for a pint at the end of the week.
Africa, which is down there.
We've never ever had any money to go anywhere. We've always gone camping and this year we couldn't even take the Benz away anyway because we had no money.
That position there.
It's the first time he's ever been on an aeroplane. He's gone all the way to Japan. He's never ever been anywhere before. So next year we might be able to afford a holiday.
I still don't understand.
You still don't understand?
I am going to miss them very much. You know, I'm going to miss them growing up, away for 3 months. You see, 3 months is not very long, but actually going through 3 months, it's a bloody lifetime.
Does somebody have to eat the orange?
Well, we will do. Somebody be eating the orange.
Not me.
That's how far your dad's going. He's going right round the world to Japan.
When we arrive, yeah.
Yes.
Kiko is very proud, very pleased that I've got a job with Nissan. Not simply because she's Japanese. That doesn't mean to say that that's why I went in for the job. The only reason I went in for the job was because it was a good opportunity for my own career advancement. Just to get adjusted, get acclimatized and that. So I'll probably have time to see them then.
I think we'll take them out, have a drink. It's going to be fun, won't it?
If I'm fit, fit.
Yes.
Akiko, she's adapted with tremendous style and vitality to adjusting to life in England, and she's really worked at it very hard. She's working in a factory in Aycliffe, making 3-piece suites. And I think basically that's helped to improve her English, working day to day in a factory, mixing with other English people.
I like in North East, and up here, people, I know they haven't got very much, but I found the people are kind and talk to you, just always talk about the weather. And another thing that attracted me was in the North East, plenty chimneys. That's in Japan, never seen chimneys.
Some good markets, I think, electronics, isn't there?
Yes.
Near Tokyo.
Yes, called
Akihabara.
And if you go there, the whole street, all electronics, nothing else, selling
What?
all electronic goods.
Yeah, the supervisors have been on about it.
I like Englishmen better. Englishmen, more helpful wife. Japanese men, when married, easy work and totally closed in the house and out to drink or business.
For some at the leaving party in Washington, the Japanese experience has already happened. Supervisor Colin O'Neill and 21 of his colleagues have spent 8 weeks working alongside their Japanese counterparts in the Apama plant. The prospect facing the team leaders is an altogether tougher one. 3 months in Apama, and for some, another spell away from their families after Christmas.
the last meeting you're going to have.
It's the last meeting I'll have.
Last English round.
Sat here in the old raceway from now, innit? Something like that.
You've got brown ale, but it's about £3 a bottle. So you better send him some more pocket money.
ささやかですけれども、真心のこもった贈り物でございます。どうぞお受けください。
This is a small gift to you, wives and friends, but please do accept it with sincerity.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is called broshki. This has a long traditional history, and this one quite flexible. You can use them over your head or shoulder as a scarf. Also, it's very easy to carry because you can fold it and put it in your pocket.
どうかエージェントの皆さん方も今日お話しいたしました風呂敷以上にフレキシビリティのある有用な人に育つことをお願いいたします。
Now, the real point I like to make is this. Since this froshki scarf has many functions and has many flexibilities, I hope you all be very flexible and we can work toward the same goal together.
You'll tend to find that in Japan, group harmony is the most important thing. Within the UK, the accent that we will be putting on is individuals who can work within a group rather than the other way round, as tends to be the case in Japan.
The Nissan image dresses all its staff, from managing director downwards, in the same uniform. The global Nissan family may be the goal, but the British team leader will earn less than half the salary of his counterpart in Japan. Recruiting people in an area of high unemployment has distinct advantages.
The vast majority of people that we will be appointing as team leaders will not have car-making experience. They will have some knowledge of engineering techniques. They may well know their way around a car, but they will not have built cars from scratch. So they've got to learn those specific techniques. And the main reason for them going out to Japan is to spend a lot of time on the line just really learning the job. Then, when we start recruiting the bulk of the workers, they will be able to teach the rest of the workers what they have learned while they're in Japan.
So I have to do all this when you're away?
All you got to do is just transfer from that bottle into that bottle, using the same principle. Look how clear that is, man. Lovely and clear, that.
So what about Christmas? Will you be fetching some Christmas presents?
Yeah, I'll be fetching some Christmas presents over for the bairns and yourself. Right, that's that one finished. That should be ready for us to come back from Christmas. That'll be our homecoming. A little bottle there. Right. So that's a sample of that one, and if that's nice. So we've got wine for Christmas anyway.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing else. So it's nice and clean, that one, isn't it? It's easy to go through it. It's a little homecoming.
Hurry home, hurry home. Now I know just what lonely really means. Hurry home, hurry home. Now I know just how much you mean to me. Hurry home. I know you got things to do, and I don't want to trouble you, but I just can't stand the Hurry home, hurry home. Now I know just what lonely really means. Hurry home, hurry home. Now I know just how much you mean to me. Hurry home.
5:10, and we get the 6:30 train, and they're cramming people onto that train. You kind of get moved in the station. There's that many people running and bustling around. You know, it's breathtaking. And it's like that every day of the week. They're just geared up to go to work. You know, they love work.
There you go, lads. Hi, little lads. Are you busy? Okay. Look at the camera. Oh, sure.
You've seen pictures on the telly about how they squash them into trains and that, and how busy it is. Well, I didn't understand it, but when you're getting here and actually seeing it happening, it's unbelievable.
The culture shock is so great, and it's so different from what we experience back home. There's no amount of preparation could cover you for that. The lifestyle is so different, and the pace of life is so much quicker. It's, I suppose you could liken it to living in the West End of London on a permanent 24-hour basis.
Two eggs, please. One tomato.
The 5 canteens at Palmer aren't very popular with the team leaders. After queuing daily to buy their packed lunch, it's a 25-minute walk to the plant. In Japan, an 8-hour day means just that. The line starts at 8 and finishes at 12. Then it's back again from 1 to 5. After hours, there are the meetings, departmental meetings, management review meetings, quality control meetings, all in the men's own time. It'll be after dark before the team leaders get back to Yokohama. The Apama plant is Nissan's Mecca, a 1.5 million square meter industrial shrine. But for the British contingent, there are some bows in the direction of the east they won't make. With an almost complete language barrier blocking any real contact with the Japanese, the scale of the plant and the apparent efficiency of its operation are the most striking features as far as the team leaders are concerned.
I've worked in several medium-sized factories back in the UK, and having seen a car plant for the first time in Japan, Apama, it was incredible, just the sheer size. Tools and technique are pretty much the same as back in the UK. And let's not forget that in England they still build cars. In Japan, they're very much more organised, and that's really what it comes down to, organisation. The Japanese worker is committed, totally. But having said that, the company is also committed to the Japanese worker.
It's the first time I've been in a car factory. The computers and everything that they've got is fantastic. robots. It's unbelievable.
Carry on with the operation. Try the other side. I'll just...
Fortunately, like, most of the Japanese can speak a lot of English. They'll put something like 70 hours a piece in, learn the English language, and they explain everything 2 or 3 times. So they're trying for you not to make a mistake. But if you do, they look at it as a failure on their behalf because they feel as though they haven't shown you properly in the first place.
Just putting the rubber in there now.
In order to compete other European car companies, it is very important to achieve the high standard of quality in a plant in UK.
Final check for quality.
Built-in quality.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to build in quality. You can't make quality. You got to build it into the car. I think if we get down the yoke here, we've got success.
Yes.
I don't know what John Burton had, but these are okay.
Well, on Sunday when I Tokyo, I had to take potluck because everything was in Japanese. So we're trying to understand what was meat and what was fish. So we've got that out the road with. So we got this meat one. It was on the plate and it was just like like mixing cement. It had the rice round this side, you know, stuff forward the middle. It was all creamy and it was beautiful. It was the best one I've been doing. The work environment is really good. Nobody seems to get a panic. It just seems to be leisurely pace they're doing it in, where we're actually having to force ourselves with the heat and the humidity to keep ourselves going. I've never seen anybody lose their head, get themselves upset, even when there's trouble on the line. It just seems to resolve itself. Where in England, you would get people at each other's throats.
As an escape from the factory, Japanese city life doesn't have a lot to offer. The favourite method of relaxation takes place in neon-lit arcades, where the inmates spend their evening gazing inscrutably at ball bearings.
The thing that hits you really is the noise. It's incredibly noisy. And that's really what attracts your attention.
called Pachenko. Basically, it's trying to win as many ball bearings out of the machine as you can. They're not taking a blind bit of notice of anybody. They're concentrating that hard on what they're doing. They just, life goes on around them and they don't seem to notice. I don't know whether they actually come away with any more than they came in with, but I suppose some people must be winning because everybody seems to be coming back so often. You'll never find a Pachenko hall that's empty. They're always full, they're always busy. There's always that much noise coming from them. There must be something happening. Somebody must be winning something.
The hotel room itself is very small. The last thing you want to do is spend any great length of time in your room, apart from filling your daily report sheets, your expenses sheet out, and your letters. You write home and you feel depressed. You're thinking what you're missing at home. You can live with somebody so many years and tell just by which way they're doing things, what mood they're in. But how can you express that on paper?
Here I am again in this mean old town, and you're so far away from me. And where are you when the sun goes down? You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. So far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me. I'm tired of being in love and being all alone. When you're so far away from me, I'm tired of making out on the telephone, 'cause it's so far away from me. You're so far away from me. You're so far I just can't see. You're so far away from me. You're so far away from me.
One tiny corner of the giant Apama plant is, for the moment, England.
The whole point of it is so that you give an accurate account of what you've actually did.
It's not to impress anybody. It's just, we would put hours down as well. It's just so we get an idea of how many cycles it takes to train somebody to a given look, because we don't really know, basically. And we've got to have some idea. What we'll have to avoid is that they're so tired at night that all they do is lock themselves into their rooms and develop cabin fever. Some of the Americans got into the habit of locking themselves into their room, and that's about all they did. The walls gradually started closing in on them inside the hotel room, and you didn't fight the culture shock, you just succumbed to it. I gather the journey takes about an hour.
The tuna and the squid, and this is the octopus, and this is some kind of fish eggs, and this is the seashell. Try anything you want.
Seashell.
This is cucumber.
Mm.
But you should try the raw fish, maybe. Tuna?
Tuna.
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 Yes.
And is that egg?
Yes, that's the egg.
Tuna.
Yes.
Upside down?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You don't like this?
Too strong, very strong.
The
food and their way of life. You don't really understand it until you experience it. I don't think I'd live here because the houses is that closely cramped together. And Mr. Suzuki's house that we were in a Friday night, he paid something like 43 million yen for that house. That's £135,000. The same house in England would be about 28,000.
How old are your girls?
Tomomi, 18.
18?
Mika, 17.
17?
No, oh, no mistake. Again. 50. Yes.
Okay, this is Suzuki. For you? Okay, this is Suzuki. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Jimmy,
Oh,
thank you.
okay.
So, thank you.
Hey, what girls?
Okay.
Lemonade. Oh, lemonade. Thank you.
Okay.
For the Japanese families who've been posted to northeast England, the chances to assimilate have been made a bit easier than for the team leaders in Japan. The Washington supermarkets have stocked up on bean curd. The local school has organized language classes. But the differences between the two cultures is still apparent. Nora Miyashima was born in Scotland, but has lived in Tokyo long enough to understand the Japanese lifestyle. And now, that lifestyle has been brought to Washington.
Unfortunately, my husband does work very long hours. He starts work at 8 o'clock and he's there till about 10 or 11 in the evening. With British workers, it probably will seem more than average. Since I was aware that other Japanese husbands were doing the same, so I tend to think then maybe their wives are supporting them in some way, so likewise I should do the same. It may appear that there's two families, the Miyajima and the Nissan company, but to me there's only one.
Could we have 3 of these, please?
There are several times when you do feel isolated and abandoned, and I may appear to be a Nissan widow, but I don't feel so, because he's always at the other end of the phone if I need him for anything. I'm very happy and very proud to be part of Nissan, and that my husband is successful, and he can see that the children are settling in quite nicely to the situations here.
They're prawns.
他の登場人物はそのミミズが大きくなって大きな竜とか大蛇みたいな怪物にだんだん育っていったですよ。その他には魔女、他に調べた人はそれと同じように効果を表すためにね、このコーラスが
On Sunday morning, Lantern went a fishing in the weir, and catched a fish upon his yoke and thought it very queer. But what a kind of fish it was, Lantern could not tell. He wasn't a fast to carry it yet, so he hid it down the well. Wish, lads, had your gobs, I'll tell yous all an apple story. Wish, lads, had your gobs, I'll tell yous about the world.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Shirada. How are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Good.
Usual. Sure card.
Yeah, thank you.
So you have time to go and do some practice?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Well, have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye. Every Sunday, I play golf with my friends. It's very enjoyable. People in Northeast are very, very kindly and friendly.
We've got spring, summer, autumn, and winter.
Winter, and?
The 4 seasons.
Four seasons.
4
1 hour.
1 hour. We see it here.
in the 1 hour.
Yeah,
4
but in 1
seasons,
hour,
yes.
not in 12 months.
We're
getting the
understand.
throw in 1 hour.
Yes, I true.
You do it.
Catch on? Yes, I got you.
Especially in the northeast, you know.
This club is located just east side of Nissan Motor, UK. And from my house, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes drive. It's very easy to access. It's amazingly. In Japan, it takes about more than 1 hour to reach the golf club.
Both Japanese and English have their own ideas to live. Japanese industry has grown up since Second World War, and people work hard. They get up early and come back to their home very late. These things are not good because we can't have any communication with father.
Okay, and are things different in England? Yes. It's different in England, or is it the same? For a Japanese family?
I think it's different.
It's a little different, I think. You've worked very hard on that. I'm very, very pleased with you.
A month and 40,000 cars later, a Palmer offers the team leaders a glimpse of what Washington could be like in the year 2000.
So, for the rest of this afternoon, we practice, or we watch, the inspectors on this line. Okay? Okay. Good.
The end of the line. The capacity at a Palmer is 480,000 cars a year. In the UK, it'll be 24,000 to start with. Nissan needs this Washington plant to break into the European market. What it hasn't yet decided is whether Europe can build cars to Japanese standards. So the crates of car kits and components roll in from Yokohama. And when they've been put together, they'll be shipped back to a Palmer to be dismantled and inspected. For the British, the carrot is 100,000 cars a year by 1990, with 80% of the components being made here. For the team leaders now on their way home for Christmas, that expansion would mean promotion, and for 3,000 more people, the chance of a job.
That's what I brought back from Japan. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's another one. It's from Japan as well. See how they wrap them? They do that in the shop, you know, when you buy something.
It's all free, you know.
They say, yeah, they don't charge. They say, is it a present? Is it a present?
Say,
Say yes.
I'll wrap them for you. It's nothing.
You've got them all up. They're beautiful.
It was
That
the
one
ribbon
as well.
on.
See that one?
Is that one from Japan?
Yeah, that's another one from Japan. That's from Sogo's. That's a new shop. Big new shop.
Did I go
Yeah,
there?
brand new. Here's another one. That's from Japan as well. Can you get that underneath? Put it right underneath.
Very nice.
Pass some photos, Gus, and I'll show us some photos I took. Oh, that's at Disneyland. That's the tribes. That's your mum, yes.
So nobody can see them.
Who's that? Pinocchio?
Yeah,
That's at Disneyland, walking down the street. And this is when the boat came alongside. This came out the water. Hit the hippopotamus. Look at the size of its mouth.
We thought these were real because you didn't write on the
I
top
know,
where
the
they were
moves are
from.
really
We
good.
thought that was all real.
No, it's all dummies.
I'm pleased he's home for Christmas because I couldn't stand Christmas and being away.
Here's the streets.
Is it the biggest mouth?
That's a volcano or a mountain. And that's actually on Mount Fuji looking over into the valley. See the valley?
It's going to mean a big difference in here, it really is. We know we're going to have a new car and we hope that we could buy a house eventually. It can only be great now, just fantastic.
They don't have Saturdays and Sundays off. Look at the uniforms, big long skirts.
We stand next to the table for
No, are they right to the floor?
Right down to the floor. No, they all carry the brollies. The bad weather will get.
So that has to go, Brolly.
We should have one in the bag. One of them fully up ones like your dad's got.
I got one. Very pretty. Is that your brollies? Who do you want these brollies for?
Give what that to Carol. Write your name.
Not me.
Not me.
By name, by nature. Huh?
They didn't spell your name,
Yes,
did
you.
they?
Nose.
I haven't got fat nose.
Hmm?
He has.
It's the stuff I thought that was dope when I was coming through the customs.
What is it like?
It's a fish cake or something, some type of fish meal, dried out and just made into a biscuit. Something like shortbread, you know.
I like Japanese sweets. Me.
Is it actually a biscuit that you can eat? Or
Well, you can have it if you want, but I don't.
no, do you mix it with something new?
No, I don't know. Try it, see what it's like. Put some jam on.
Leave that to you.
Huh?
What do you think of it? Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Nice. Pleased to be back home, like.
When the team leaders left England last September, Nissan UK was an empty shell. By January, things have changed a bit, and the menu in the Washington canteen is obviously more agreeable to the British palate than the one they declined in a Parma.
When's this first operator starting? Yours? 17th of March.
I'll start in on that.
Just got to tell you what the car was there, but I
You're going to start in the first 2 weeks, Jim. When's it, Jim? First 2 weeks.
First 2
Training, aren't you? What's going to happen all at once?
Day and a half is induction for us.
I reckon the training aspect will have to be an overtime. We've got to build.
Quite
You got to train them during overtime hours.
The lads will train now and train the next set of lads. Vice versa.
The Japanese experience has been a profound one. But the half-built cars shipped in from Japan are a constant reminder of who the fledglings are in the Nissan family. The paternal instincts shown by the supervisors to the team leaders are ready to be passed on to the next generation of assembly line workers.
Well, we have to introduce in Washington a certain degree of commitment. I'm not saying that the commitment won't be there, but you need to bring it out with people. And if people are given the right incentives, then you'll get that commitment from the British worker.
There's little odds and ends in there. The way of working. For the Japanese, that'll change my personal lifestyle very slightly. Places I've worked before, the managers have been something outside of the shop floor. You see them out once a month or something. Down here, we've been talking to the managing director, who's always just one of the lads on the shop floor, you know. Great atmosphere. Can't say feeling it all.
Nissan is the first family. They're treated first. Their class Nissan as their family. Then the wife comes second. which is really queer, you know. If they didn't have a job, they wouldn't live. You know, like we can go on the dole and stuff forth like that. Nissan is their family, and Nissan also looks after them very well. I'm quite content to work all hours to get the plant off the bottom, and I can speak for all the lads. They would do the same to make it a success.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present Bluebird T1. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say a few words to mark this T1 ceremony. The car in front of you, this is the first car that has been manufactured by our combined effort. We must strive as a team to build the highest quality car in Europe. I would like to all to tell your families that we have built our first car today, and to thank them for their support during this difficult period. In particular, the families of those staff who went to Japan for training. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
One for the family album. The first car to be built in Washington. 30 years from now, though, will these workers' grandchildren be looking proudly at a snapshot of the start of the second industrial revolution? Or at a picture of the Nissan family standing inside the Trojan horse that put an end to Britain's native car industry?